Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
What is up, everyone? And today we have important things to discuss about this episode of Survivor because apparently they needed the rooster to make eggs.
No,
They said at tribal council that they're not making eggs.
yeah,
The
because
chickens aren't making eggs.
they're probably not taking very good care of the chickens.
They need to bone.
No, that is not how it works. I've literally talked to so many people, including people who own chickens, and that is not how it works.
You see, this is Chekhov's gun. They
Yeah,
introduced that they killed the rooster, and now they're like, we don't have eggs.
yeah, no, that's not how that works. They're just clearly have no idea how to handle and raise chickens.
That's fair. Anywho, yeah, so this was a interesting episode. We start right off the bat where, it was a split tribal week before, and then they're coming back and they thought, oh yeah, Sophie is totally gonna go. And then Sophie comes back and everyone's like, what? Huh?
Yeah, terrible
And
reaction.
so
Never have that reaction if you're on Survivor.
yeah. Well, I mean, because that's definitely what cost Alex to go home because
Yeah,
like was part of that group that was like, oh wow, you actually survived. Um,
yeah, yeah. Be happy.
so
Whenever a group of people was coming back and they're still in the game, be happy for them, even if you aren't actually happy for them.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like very
Uh,
basic Survivor 101, like thinking.
yeah. Uh, but this cast sometimes they're making decisions. That was definitely a huge fumble on their behalf because now, like, that puts Sophie Bananas like kind of like in a that if anything, good for her because it kind of reawakened her. She's like, okay, I guess I actually start need to be playing the game for real for now.
Mhm.
Do what's best for me, not just Hina.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophie Bananas is now one of the biggest characters of of the season who just out of nowhere came out of left field last episode, and now it's like, okay, here she is.
Yeah. It is curious, especially because have you seen the one theory video of like why Yellow Tribe has been kind of like purple edited?
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So like I don't know, because sometimes it's because of relative, not relatives, relevance to the story. Sometimes it's that, but like it's still starting to make a little bit more sense where we're still like I feel like obviously this was a huge moment for like Sophie and stuff, but it's like I'm still feeling like for like Steven and like 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 Alex even kind of like dipped a little bit, and then when Kristina found the idol, it was like, oh okay, but like, and we've gotten like backstories, but we haven't like I haven't
Mhm.
feel they've been like fleshed out by the edit yet.
Yeah, no, I mean most of the people who that video was talking about, which the big ones obviously were the two people who got removed from the season.
Mhm.
Obviously they cheated. Uh, and then they also had put in Sophie Bananas as well, because she was potentially working there. And then there's also potentially Sophi B and Alex and Jake were the other ones for Blue as potentially pre-game alliance like building that they were doing. Um, so yeah, I think you got to take a little bit of it with a grain of salt of
Naturally.
how deep the cheating and like how that was going. But yeah, those are the suspects of potential. And apparently, I've heard that there's more. Like there's way more people. It's like supposed to be it was one of the worst pre-game like starts to a season because everyone was trying to do stuff.
Well, I will say also because they're all just chilling at Ponderosa.
Uh,
It's like I get why they're also all chilling at Ponderosa as well.
yeah.
They're doing it because like, well, we have this space, saves money. we're not in the COVID times where we just, put them in different hotel rooms to,
Yeah.
so it's like I get why they're there, but at the same time it's a little weird just like being around people for I don't know how long and just like not talking. Just kind of like they're allowed to make
Yeah.
eye contact apparently and stuff like that, but it's just like you're kind of there for a while. And
Yeah.
like your brain is already kind of like wrapping around the idea of like, oh, who's probably going to be on my tribe? Who am I going to work with,
Yeah.
et
What's
cetera, et
crazy though
cetera.
is that like people found out about their tribes. Now that's what I think is a little like what happened to that? Like what how did that come to be? Because yeah, the people in the yellow tribe found out they were on the same tribe. I feel like the blue people on blue, the fact that they were all working to get like connecting there seems like they all knew. So clearly, like the tribe plans had to have been leaked to the cast somehow.
Potentially, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, well, you just go over and be like, all right, let's just say it's the two people kicked off is Bob and Jane.
Mhm.
Bob goes to Jane like, so what colors are you packed? Yellow. You brought yellow? I brought yellow. And then like I
Yeah.
mean it's stuff like that that can kind of like leak what tribes you are just like what color clothing did you bring?
Yeah, I think moving forward, they should just tell everyone to bring all three colors, and then the day of, like as they're about to go out there, then tell them what colors they are.
All right, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine when it comes to granted this has been like a survivor thing for quite some time.
Hmm.
We already have the buffs. I don't feel like you need to
Yeah,
color coordinate, especially when it's like, oh, it's like you have tribe swaps, you get to the merge and stuff like that. It's like I don't need that specifically.
yeah,
And also like there are some colors that don't look as good. Like that might make my thing. I would be like on my audition tape being like green is more my color, so put me on the green tribe.
mm.
Uh, um, which maybe that's why I haven't been casted. It's just like there hasn't been a green tribe for Ryan yet. Um, but no. But it's one of the things where I'm like, I don't think it's as necessary as like production thing. Maybe it looks aesthetically pleasing in the beginning, but it's like it's not necessary.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's kind of whatever. And then once they get to the merge, a lot of them end up having a like a merge clothes that they have that's different than their tribe colors anyway. So then they just go away from that come the merge.
Yeah.
So it's like okay.
Just let people wear whatever, pre-approve it, la di da.
Yeah.
But um all right, so like back to everything in this episode. We also get like a reward challenge. And this one kind of ended a little interesting
Mhm.
because in the beginning we're like Jawan hasn't eaten yet, and he's like, "There's something about today. I feel it." He feels it, and then he loses, and then Kristina is like, like, "Hey, you can have. I'm okay with you taking my place because you haven't eaten yet. You need to eat." You know, what do you feel about that?
Well, clearly, she had planned that from the beginning because it was the immediate raise, and yeah, I mean, yeah, clear. Well, like the reason why she does that is that Jawan is in the swing position. Like she knows that he has probably a lot of power. So her hope is give him this meal. He's not going to vote her out. Hopefully, she'll vote with her in this next upcoming tribal council. Doesn't end up happening that way, but it's definitely very game heavy. And the reason why we see this reward challenge is literally because of this moment. They don't show you every reward challenge. That does not happen. Most reward challenges get cut because they're just not necessary. Um, but
Which I'm still like, y'all, you have 90, well, basically an hour to fill. You can
mhm.
show us the reward challenges, especially when there are some things where it just kind of feels like you're killing time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's I think the problem is that some of those reward challenges don't really lead to anywhere or anything storytelling wise. So it's just kind of like, whatever. We'll just focus more on what everyone's talking and saying instead of the challenges. Which for me personally, I like that because I don't like challenges that much. Like I think they can be very boring to watch a 10-minute challenge.
I disagree, but you know, I am the out of the two of us, more of the challenge beast.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm more of the social strategy. Like that's where I love seeing things happen. So
I think you love more so the causing chaos and everything.
no, no, no. I love the strategy. Give me some good strategy. That's what I want.
Hmm. Sure. Anywho,
You say I'm chaotic. I really think I'm like one of the least chaotic workers out there.
I mean, to be fair, the bar is pretty high for that. But,
Yeah.
the Chaos Gremlin kind of stuck to you, and that's your branding now. We can't change your brand.
Yeah, well, I think it's a wrong branding. Let's go back to the drawing board, maybe.
We got to. All right. We do have the Delulu
No,
Labubu.
no, that one's also off the drawing board. uh,
What if, all right, what if we, all right, so if I'm Neo, what if we dress you up like another Matrix character?
what are other? I'm terrible at the characters in Matrix besides Neo.
Let's
The-
see.
yeah,
Ooh, you can be Agent Smith. We just put you in a suit, you have the sunglasses, comb over. It'll work.
no, sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. Okay, we'll figure that out more. But yeah, Kristina gives up the reward. um, what about you? How do you feel about this whole Kristina reward thing?
Honestly, it's something where in the moment, when you do stuff like that, it always affects the game. The thing is, it's like the game always is going on.
Mhm,
And yeah, you can have human moments out there, like, last season with Eva and Joe when Eva, was having a panic attack and everything.
mhm,
And like Joe went over and like calmed her down and everything after the challenge was said and done. And like that's like a human moment, but also it's like they even said there plays a factor into the game, giving up rewards and stuff like that. You know, if I was playing the game, I'm like, even if I was on one of her allies, if like I was Steven, I know she has the idol. I would also be like, all right, she's also thinking of like jury management as well.
yeah.
Little stuff like that. That kind of stuff could put a target on your back as well, especially like now that Sage knows about Christina's idol, because Steven was like, I trust you completely. I trust
Yeah.
the what is it, the underdogs, the under
Bottoms up.
bottoms up. All right, the bottoms up alliance. It's like, okay, well, that especially after that vote, Steven and Christina might be very worried because it's like, oh crap, I just told Sage, who blindsided one of my allies, and might tell Jawan and other people. I
Mm,
mean, for Steven, that might actually be good because it'd be like, oh, Christina has an idol. But that
yep.
could also be bad for him because, like, we'll talk about Rizzo and his, like, vibranium nutsack because it's like,
Yeah.
it's, but, like, it's one of those things where it's like, do you go after Christina or at a certain point? And it's also like, are we concerned about Christina? Because
Yeah.
she might be the person that plays it on someone else. You never know.
I think next week we are going to get Sophi B playing her knowledge is power and taking away Christina's idol because she finds out about it. Because I know the next time on Survivor there was a big shocking moment for the jury. Like they were
At
all shocked.
Tribal, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that if a knowledge is power is played correctly, everyone there is going to be having those faces because that is no one, it's never been played correctly. So it would be a very huge moment. And guess what? Then that just means that Sophi B, Savannah, and Rizzo really have everything in the game.
I mean, yeah. And we've been slowly seeing in this episode, or like even starting last episode, they're kind of like rise to power. Like right now, it's kind of delivering on what Jess said. Like the merge gets a lot more interesting, and it has
Mhm.
been. Like you have Rizzo having this public idol, yet it's not even like he knows where the numbers are, and so that's why he doesn't.
Mhm.
But like, especially if you've gone like you've held that idol for 3 rounds at this point, it's like it's insane to think about. Um,
Yeah.
Especially because that's on the topic of every single meeting, basically.
Yeah.
And then you have the knowledge is power, you have the extra vote, and you also have Savannah winning immunity a lot. It's only two, but like you don't know, who knows? She could break not just the ladies' record, but all-time record if
Yeah.
it keeps going like this.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's minimum winning 4 immunities this season, like bare minimum. Like I think she's going to definitely have a lot of immunities stacked up by the end of this.
Agreed.
And then yeah, I mean, is that going to be also what gets her the win? I will say they have been saying so much about her being a mean girl, about her being a bully. I do wonder if that's going to potentially be something that stops her from winning and getting votes in the end.
I mean, she's done some, I wouldn't even say villainous things,
Mm-hmm.
but she's done like obviously when MC was trying to get the idol and stuff, like, she tried to like snatch the keys from under her, like while she
Yeah,
was finding it. Like obviously that's something that's like a no-no, but it's like also, like I think it's just like she's a pretty woman. And therefore, it's like, oh, if you're pretty and then you've done like one or two things, then it's like, oh, she's a mean girl,
yeah,
which I don't get that from her. Like, granted, we're also getting the vulnerability
yeah,
from her
yeah,
from confessionals, and then also that she showed to Sophie's screen time,
yeah. I
which we
will
might
say
have to rethink that nickname.
Yeah, I will say I have been watching this with other people and they also think that Savannah is like they hate her. Like they are rooting so actively against Savannah right now. um and I don't know if you saw MC's exit interview, but yeah, she like kind of did not really respect Savannah. So I think that there's definitely still a world where Savannah gets the end, but Survivor loves her. They think she was so great TV, so they gave her all this content, but she doesn't get the win because other people are feeling bitter towards her. That is still very much a possibility in this game.
It is, and I know you're grasping at straws and be like,
I don't even care. Fuck our fucking draft. I'm talking purely like because everyone is in the Savannah wins, like 90% chance Savannah wins this game. I really think that we're gonna look back and be like, oh, look at all these holes, but we were so blinded because Savannah's on 50. Savannah took Marianne's spots. Like there's all these things that make it feel like it's got to be Savannah winning. But there's definitely things that are like similar to Joe last season, where he had this like very clear like winners edit going on, but there were holes and we wanted to ignore them because we were like, oh, but look at how great of a person Joe is. And then guess what? He gets the end, doesn't win, and it's like, what just happened here?
that is fair, but who knows? And then there's also obviously MC. She cannot reveal who she voted for. There is the thing of
Mm-hmm.
like bitter jury as well. This doesn't seem so. If we look at who's on the jury right now, you have Alex, you have Nate, and then you have MC,
Mm-hmm.
which there is like a thing also that I read an article about MC about like she had things to say about wanting not to be voted out there purely because and now this episode, unfortunately, we've had three African
Yeah,
Americans voted out in a row,
yeah.
which is
If Jawan goes out next week, oh boy, oh boy.
yeah, it's something where it's like, especially after I saw that, it's like, oh, this is kind of like something you can't really ignore. Granted, there are other reasons to take someone out, and sometimes it's not even on the forefront of the mind, but at the same time, it's just like not a good, it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Granted,
yeah, go ahead.
Alex was targeted this game because he was like being accused of playing both sides, and then he admitted it, and everyone was like, "Yeah, no shit."
Yeah.
He's like, "What? You guys are talking about it? What? Huh?"
Yeah, I don't think Alex had great game. It definitely felt like I mean, like, yeah, playing the middle is good. I mean, we're seeing Jawan and Sage do it pretty well right now. But also, I still think that at any week, I would not be surprised if people say Jawan and Sage are deciding the shots right now. Let's go for one of them. Like, you're always going to be potentially targeted if you are in the middle.
Yeah, because there's so much power in the swing vote.
Yeah.
It's literally, and like, we'll find out like next time on Survivor, but it's like also they pretty much almost seemingly blink and you miss it went over to Rizzo, Soph, and Savannah, and then like it was like it seemed like super easy, super quick, like that, and
Yeah.
like that's the kind of fluidity you have and the privilege you can do in the middle. But some people clock that and they're like, all right, well, do I want these two people to take spots in the game? And also,
Mhm.
do I want to just play their game and just be a sacrificial lamb? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Because literally everyone so far in the merge has been taken out because of Jawan and Sage. Like they have, they're the ones that have decided. If you don't have Jawan and Sage on your side, then it's not happening.
So, yeah, you're either going home or one of your allies are going home.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, so yeah, we'll see. I definitely can still see Jawan just getting taken out, which is gonna suck if that happens next week because what you were just talking about. Um, but even last week when MC went out, I almost said something in our podcast about how we had two black players go out back to back there, and I was like, should I say something about if Jawan or Alex goes? But I was like, I think they're going to both be fine next week, so I think we're going to lose some. And then of course, Alex has to be one of the ones that goes here, so it's like, okay, well,
Yeah. I mean, and I read the article too, and then that was when I was watching it last night, kind of like in the back of my head when Alex was the name being thrown out by Rizzo. I was like, well, I don't think Rizzo goes out here.
yeah.
I don't think Soph goes out here. Oh boy. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
That is one of the things. Is like from editing, we know that Rizzo, Sophie B, and Savannah are just like not going home anytime soon. So the fact that those were kind of like the names throughout the episode that were kind of like thrown out, and then Alex, it's like, okay, well, we know what's about to happen here.
yeah. Um, I think the path we got there, though, like I think this is kind of like the story of the season. It's like, how did these three pull it off? Or, like, because like even though we already know it's like Savannah and Rizzo, it's like even all right. I also want to say this. Just because like certain players did not make season 50 doesn't mean they're bad or
Yeah,
irrelevant too. I feel like that's something that some people also have to like take into consideration too. Like when we're even watching this season, it's like just because Sage, who I think it's becoming more apparent how good her game is.
yeah,
Sage isn't on season 50 doesn't mean she's bad in this season. I'm like, no, if anything, she's been one of the front runners of this season when it comes to like, if I take edit and like confessionals aside, she is one of the most powerful people in the game and could potentially win if she played her cards right. But
mhm,
because, like, so yeah, I just kind of want to also throw that out there because I think we've been guilty of it as well. We have this vision of just those two, and it's like, oh, this season is basically their story and how they get it.
yeah,
But it's like, yeah, we have to keep that in mind. But also, it's like we have to also keep an eye out for what makes the other people great as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, Soph, I think is going to be sitting there with Rizz God and Savannah in final three too, because we got confirmation that they want to be in the final three together, and I think that they're not ever going to turn on each other. I really think that these three are totally down to sit at the end together. I think they all think they can beat the other two in the end.
Well, I mean, yeah. Um, I think we may have touched on this even. It's like each one of them, always the tricky thing when you go into a finale with people in your alliance is like, how do you differentiate your game? The thing
Mhm.
is, they all have something that makes their game different. You
Yeah,
know, Savannah being a comp beast and the number one threat. Um, Rizzo with his idol and having like having
the,
the trust in his
the
alliance and the
cojones
guts
to not
to
use
not
it.
play the cojones
Yeah,
made of vibranium.
yeah,
I really hope because he's seen a few of our episodes. I really hope he's watching right now.
yeah. Agreed.
Um, but yeah, so it's like, and then you have Soph who survived a Mat Sing, on her like original tribe,
Hmm.
and then she basically has been to all but one tribal council in this game so far.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a story on its own. Um, and then especially if she gets that flex of playing the knowledge is power correctly, that's just like another thing for Soph.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, let's go off the three jurors. Yeah, obviously there's gonna be more, but out of the three that are currently there, where do you think the votes are going? I think Nate will vote for Savannah.
All right.
Um,
And we're assuming that those three are the final three, right?
yes. Assuming that those three, so they're going up against each other.
Um, I think Nate would definitely go Savannah. MC, I can see potentially Rizzo, especially,
Hmm.
like game recognizes game. And then also, I think that, like they've bonded a little bit when they were on the same tribe. So
Hmm.
there is that. And then, well, I mean, like, I feel like
Alex has to vote for
Alex,
self. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, definitely possible. I mean, like, they survived the same thing. She made it further. Those are some things that might play in the back of his head,
Yeah.
especially if you're like a Denise fan. It's like, that could play a factor too.
Yeah, I think out of those three, what you had just described, I think the Nate and the Alex one are like for sure. I think if it is those final three, the MC one, I really think is a little more up in the air, and a lot of that, I think all the yellow tri members is going to feel up in the air because we did not get a lot of content for a lot of them for a very long time.
Mhm.
So I think like if Soph plays the knowledge is power and has a big moment, I could easily see MC just go. I can see a lot of those yellow people just like throwing their votes on the Soph just because it's just like, oh my god, the first person to ever play the knowledge is power correctly, and they got an idol and then they used it correctly. Like if something like that goes on, like people are definitely going to be down to just like, oh, I don't really know between Soph or Savannah. They're kind of equal to me. You know what? Let's go with Soph. She had this, historic first move.
Yeah. That does play in people's mind because
Yeah.
being the first always makes it a little bit more epic.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously we don't know that until we see how it all plays out. I do have a feeling that it's going to get used. I don't know if like the idol will necessarily matter, but I do think the knowledge power will be used correctly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think the tricky thing is the one thing that kind of could throw an entire big wrench into this plan. It is the fire making challenge at
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
It could very much be that, we do have that, and then let's say whoever's on the outs, or, let's say because earlier this episode, Soph was like, maybe there is room for two Sophies here, to the dismay of Joe.
yeah,
uh, and maybe, like, oh, it's like Sophie versus Soph, and it's like whoever wins becomes the final Sophie, and then Sophie S makes it, or maybe it's like Sophie versus Savannah,
yeah.
and then that's another thing for a resume, or maybe it's for, like, you never know.
Yeah.
what it could be.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: if Sophie S is on the jury, voting for Soph, that's another vote locked for Soph. Um, so I think if it's that final three, I think I'm already looking at two locked votes there for Soph. I think Savannah definitely has to really sell it at Final Tribal Council to get the votes, which obviously can happen. But like I'm just looking like kind of like because her closest allies in this entire game have been Nate, Rizzo, and Soph. So if she's sitting at the end with Rizzo and Soph, those two can't vote for her anymore. Nate's the only one who can vote for her. And now it's like, okay, now she's got to convince all these other people who maybe have a less than favorable disposition of her to vote for her.
That is fair. I think you're also, well, I mean, we're in this thing
Mm-hmm.
where it's like we do have to like consider this. Also, it's fun to like play, I would say, devil's advocate and be like, what if she's not?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is one of the things where it is also possible that the luck does run out with these three.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I wanted to, because I do like each of these people. But it's possible they could be like the other side could wake up and is like, you know what? They've actually been playing a little bit too good. And then they're like, you know what? You know, we got to do it now.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just too much.
Yeah,
We must.
watch. They're gonna get left out on the votes, but it's actually gonna be Sophie S that goes, and they were trying to work with Sophie S. And it's gonna be like those three still stay in the game. uh
Yeah.
But
But
yeah. I also wanted to mention because there was a scene, by the way, in this episode that had me dying laughing. And it was the chicken scene when Steven was talking about the chickens, and it kept doing cuts to the chickens as they were going about their day, and how Steven's just like, oh, he wants to eat them. Like I straight up just started dying laughing when I was watching that.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a very heavy episode. I mean, even the reward was fried chicken.
Fried
It's
chicken.
like this episode was brought to you by chicken.
Yep, yep.
Chicken Morris endorses it.
Yeah. Well, when are they going to get like a KFC or a Popeyes that's like a sponsored?
Um, I don't know. I feel they got Applebee's. They got. It's tough to say. Who
Mhm.
knows what they're going to be? What kind of like sponsors and things they'll get out? Because they've had sponsorships from quite a few people. Granted, it died down a little bit
Yeah.
after during the mid teams, mostly because of Cook Islands. But yeah,
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah.
Sometimes people are surprised that the show is still on when I tell like non-Survivor fan players.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I tell them what season we're on, and they're like, holy shit. Like they're
Mhm.
always so surprised. And you know what? It's going to keep going. It's going to be at least 60 seasons of Survivor.
100 seasons.
Oh, 1,000 seasons of Survivor.
Well, here's the deal, and I've been talking about this a bit. I feel like another reason why reality TV has also gotten a resurgence is also because of people want to also see real people do stuff, and
Mhm.
especially in a day and age where there's all this talk of like AI being uh, replacing a lot of entertainment. The thing is, you can't AI reality TV. It's just by
Yeah.
nature you can't do that. You can have like maybe an AI contestant or something,
Yeah.
but it's like the fun of like reality TV or like if you even watch sports is that these are real people doing the thing
Yeah.
and that can't be replicated by AI.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know. Yeah, the Circle had a AI contestant play at one point where it was all the responses were AI generated and no one knew.
How far did they go?
I was actually pretty annoyed because that player was doing so good and would have made it so far, but then they removed it from the game, so the AI didn't win.
They were like, so
Yeah,
listen, I'm sorry.
yeah, no. It was such a funny like it only lasted like 2 weeks where the person was in the game, but it was just like everyone wanted to align with it, and legit, it would have been one of the top players in the game for like the entire game.
We love that.
Yeah, yeah.
But no.
Okay, imagine this, Ryan. Okay, so we start in a season of Big Brother. Okay, half the game goes by, you're doing normal Big Brother stuff. Then suddenly they say, okay, pack your bags. We're going to Fiji. And the last half of the season is Survivor, where they go out and play Survivor for the last half of the season. What do you think?
Um, that'd be something. Um, I I would be like, I would straight up. All right, so I would be pretty meta if I ever got on one of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably look to one of the cameras and be like, "Geez, where they get the budget for this?" Some shit like that. Um, but I would just kind of be a little thrown off, and I mean, like, all right, so I guess yeah, no head of household or blockbuster. All right, cool.
Yeah. And then you're right out there on the island and you're starving. You were having the good life in the house for at this time probably like 6 weeks or so, 7 weeks. And now suddenly bam, you're now starving.
All right. Well, not even that. Like the starvation I can handle. I could lose a few. But for me, what will be the thing because I have filmed an audition tape for the 5152 I almost said 5150, Jesus. Uh 5152 cycle. But the other day I was hanging up Christmas lights and it was taking longer than expected. And we were there, like sun went down at 5 and then we didn't finish until like 7. It
Mhm.
was starting to get really cold. Like we're talking below 50 degrees. And then it's one of those things where I'm like, do I really think I can be on Survivor and handle this cold? My hearts of hearts, I'm like, I know that would be a huge obstacle for me. I don't think I can
Uh-huh.
do it. Ryan hates the cold.
Yeah, you'd have to hope that you're on the cycle where it's not raining as much because there's usually one of the two seasons has a lot of rain and the other one doesn't have as much. The other one is usually hot. Like this one's hot. I would not be surprised if season 50 is like there's a lot of rain or something going on because it's been so hot this cycle. Unless they move things around to avoid rain a bunch this cycle, I don't know. Um, like when they normally film everything. But normally in most of the cycles, one season has way worse weather than the other season.
That is true. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. All right. So is there anything else about this episode that we've
I do like the immunity challenge that happened, by the way. It's a new one. I don't recall ever seeing this challenge. I would never want to do this challenge because you gotta really never skip leg day.
Yeah, well, not only that, your core. Your
Yeah.
core is a huge.
Yeah, the second that Jeff said you can't hold your legs or hold the platform, I would be like, I'd be out within a minute. Like it would like I would just be out. I would be like, okay, I'm done.
I think I would do okay. I think it would depend on who else is out there. This was also something where they're like, "Yep, first man, first woman to get it done gets immunity." Steven kind of won that pretty easily, and
Yep.
then we get back to with the girls. It's down to the age old rivalry.
Yep.
Sophie S versus Savannah.
And everyone's
It's
so
always
scared
these
of
two.
Sophie S, but yeah, Savannah is the one who is going to beat her most times, it seems.
If anything, that might bode well for Sophie S because it's
Yeah.
like, all right, you've come close so many times. Well, this one not really close.
No.
But it's like you've gotten second place twice. Right now, if I was like Sophie Bananas, I would be like, listen, I might be one of the only people that could beat her.
Mm. Yeah. You gotta keep her because literally, if you're Steven or Kristina, you don't want to lose Sophie S now because yeah, exactly what you said. One of the few people who seemingly has a chance. Especially since I think we're still gonna have at least another couple endurance challenges before we get to anything else. So and
Yeah.
I just see Savannah being really good at these endurance challenges. I mean, we've literally seen it twice now. Um, and I think that she's gonna pretty much win if you keep giving her these. So I would not be surprised if she wins at least the next two immunities before she's even potentially in danger.
There could be a thing. I don't know. It's always fun speculating. It's always cool if you get it right. I do wonder if next episode we have like a tournament style one where it's like,
Mm,
or like one where it's like, oh, you get pair off into twos, you do these challenges, and then all right, duos do this leg of it, and then it's the final two they get to do
mm.
like a showdown.
Yeah. They usually do that around this point, where they do the two v two kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see that. And the thing is like if you're Savannah's partner, do you pull a Joe and like throw the challenge? Just be like, you know what? Maybe I sandbag a little bit.
Well, she's gonna get paired with either Sophie S or like a Rizz God.
I mean, I wouldn't, yeah. I mean, like, I feel, I don't know. Like, it depends if it's randomly selected or, what we've seen where
Yeah.
it's like, it's tree mail and then
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, you just choose
Yeah.
whoever.
And we've also seen so far the Yellow Tribe should have been throwing challenges and they haven't. So I don't even know if they know that you can throw challenges in some of these. So,
I don't know. Like, throwing challenges, all right. I think another thing is like playing it's always risky when you're on the actual show because
mm,
like there's more stakes when it's us doing orgs and stuff. There's always this level of like it's not the end of the world if I lose this. There's it's not like I'm winning $1 million. So like if I throw a challenge strategically, it's not as bad. But like then there's the whole thing of yeah, like if you threw a challenge and then you got voted out as a result of it, which has happened on
mm,
Survivor before. It's like you're kicking yourself because it's like, man, I could have, like that could be $1 million mistake, and you have literally no one to blame but yourself.
mm. Yeah. But sometimes, it's like what Rizz God said, he doesn't care if he's 10th or 4th. It's all about winning. And sometimes you got to do the moves that will get you to winning because all those other placements, if you have a winner's mentality, all those other placements still matter.
Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously, you have to play to your outs, play the best game you can in order to get to that position to win. Thing is, it's like so many people are like, oh, how do I get to the end? Or like, can I win at the or it was like, oh, can I win at the end? The thing is you have to get there in order to even have that chance.
Mm,
Uh so it's like it makes sense, but maybe it's one of the things where next week Savannah loses it and then Soph uses the knowledge is power, takes Kristina's idol, and now they don't know what to do because now that three not only has one idol, they have two. They could potentially burn it, that tribal council. And then we get people whispering and chaos ensues.
yep.
So yeah.
And it's probably going to happen. I think if you use the knowledge of power on an idol, you play the idol right away. I don't think you hold on to that idol just because it's just such a public like take. And then if you go back to the camp with the person who you stole the idol from, they're gonna be pretty mad. They're gonna be like, "Give me back my idol." Like there's gonna be some heated conversation. But if you play it right there, you're fine. Like it's the game. You did it. They're gonna be mad at you still, but it's gonna be like a little bit better. It's not gonna be as like look at me dangling this thing right in front of your face this whole time.
Yeah. Uh yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah,
think it would be smarter to do that, but you never know. You never know.
yeah,
Some people would be like, it's such a gutsy thing to hold an idol. We've seen people go home as a result. 46, we had
Yeah.
like four people in a row hadn't went booted with an idol in their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's a good chance because so when that happened in 46, we saw in 47 a lot of like people if you got an idol, play it. Like Gabe, he got an idol, he's gonna play it, even if he's not even close to being in danger, he's gonna play the idol. And there's a lot of just like let me just kind of get this out of the way. And then I think now with Rizz God holding on to this idol for so long, I would not be surprised if come the cycle of 51 and 52 that there's a lot more people holding on to their idols and potentially going home with it because now people are like, ooh, I don't, if I don't have to use it, I can keep it another round. Let me just keep doing that.
That's always the gamble when you do it. Maybe there's something where Riz knows he has the
Yeah.
numbers for those votes. And so like he's like, I don't necessarily even have to use it, but it's like the longer you have it and the long I mean, we're talking about like one of the biggest takeaways from this episode was, his nerves of steel.
Yeah.
Like, and if we're thinking that, we're watching that, you got to know that everyone else on the island, especially because we have three more eliminations until the finale.
Hmm.
It's like people are thinking about that. That's like five more rounds to go. It's like, do you really want to sit next to that? Even if you're Savannah or Soph, it's like, do you really want to sit next to that?
Hmm.
Because it's also like if he held it on for three, and let's say on the fourth he plays it right, that's even better for him.
Hmm.
Like holding an idol is very impressive. If you can hold the idol and then play it right, that's golden. That's
Hmm.
cinema.
Yeah. Yeah. Also remember what happened to Xander in 41. He held his idol the entire game, didn't really need it. And then got to the end and everyone was like, yeah, we didn't care about you and your idol because you're not winning the game. So I do wonder if there's a little bit of like people aren't like caring too much about like they don't want to put the votes on a Rizz God because they don't think he's going to win. So they don't want to spend their votes on taking out someone who they think won't win the game.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's that cut and dry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like, oh, this is what everyone's thinking and saying and talking about. I think it might be like a subconscious, like why people aren't stacking votes, but because they're like, oh, but these other people are more dangerous than Rizz God, even though Rizz God's got an idol.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. That's always the topic of discussion. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I feel like the person that's overshadowing Rizz God when it comes to the idol, it's Savannah. She even talked about where it's like, I know like if I didn't win this, like it wouldn't even be a discussion. Everyone would try and vote me out.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if she didn't win this, I'm pretty sure they try the split votes on Savannah and Rizzo because
Yeah.
like because it's like, all right, well, it's like, well, one of them has to go, because Rizzo only has the one idol.
Yeah, and it would have been probably stacked on the Savannah. Like it would have been more on Savannah than Rizzo.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, so it's also one of those things because I kind of feel because I've been in those positions in games before where it's like, yeah, I won, and I'm pretty sure no one wanted me to win, but it's like, well, I kind of have to look out for me in this game. I'm not just going to lay over and die because that's what everyone else wants.
Yeah, yeah, it is a pretty shitty feeling when literally everyone is hoping for your demise in a game, and then if it doesn't
Yeah.
happen, it's just like,
I mean, like that's what's been setting her off. Like, like I know we talked about it briefly last time, but it's like like all the kind of like stuff she had to like go through in the news and that isolation, how it caused her so much stress that it had like, like it had an impact on her own body and stuff, like permanent impact.
mm,
And so it's, like it's one of those things where reliving that trauma and then also it's like, especially like being excluded or being like kind of like cast out and stuff. it's not a great feeling,
Yeah.
especially if you felt it before, and especially to like Savannah's extent. It's like to have to do that. Not only that, the nation watching this as well, and then also
Mhm.
like this game, and then also being starved, sleep deprived, all this stuff. I can only imagine. Like, no wonder they do psych evals before this, because it's like
Mhm.
that's a lot to take on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, we're getting there. We're at final eight, Ryan. We're at final
Mhm.
eight.
And you still have people.
Yeah, we're actually tied right now.
I
We're
know.
at 4-4.
Yep. Let me. Where's my list? I think it's over there.
Yeah. But all that you really have that matters is Savannah.
I have Jawan, Sophie S, and Sage as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. But they're not winning the game, but you got Savannah.
You never know.
I got
You never know.
I got Rizz
You
God
just
and
said you
Sophi
just
B.
said earlier where you just said earlier where it was like, oh yeah, maybe it's not him. And then you don't even want to entertain the idea of other people. You were even like, no, Jawan is gonna be cooked soon. He seems to be sitting pretty. So yes, you do have an impressive lineup. You have Rizz God Baby. You have Steven, you have Kristina, and you have Sophie. Now,
Mhm.
I can kind of pull the reverse on you. Do you really think Steven or Kristina are winning?
No, no, I think those two are definitely not. I think my I have two right now who can win is and that's Rizz God and Sophi B.
I think I have two as well.
I don't think you have to.
I think I have two.
Who name your seconds.
I think
Without
after Savannah,
without trying to just be like, oh, this one is a could be a winner here. Ooh.
Sage, I've been talking how
There's
good
no
Sage has been playing throughout the game.
no no no.
Our Blackhead
Remember
collecting,
Remember Genevieve who got no content in the first three episodes, then got suddenly a big spike in content, and everyone was like, Genevieve is gonna win now. Look at her getting content now. No, if you're a winner, you are getting a lot of content in your first episode, and she got what, like two confessionals in the first episode. Oh no, one. She got one confessional in episode one, so
all
she's
right,
not winning.
how did Jawan do?
Oh, now you're going to Jawan.
All right. Well, if you're already doing that and stuff, it's like, okay, let's see Jawan. For me, it would be Savannah, Sage, Jawan, and then Sophie S.
Yeah. Yeah. Jawan, admittedly, yeah, he got five confessionals in the first episode, but
Okay.
also he gets a lot of negative content and people, especially Savannah, who's going to be on season 50, saying, like, oh, he keeps taking things in my bag and putting ants in there and all this other stuff. Just a negative, like a lot of negative tones come from Jawan, and especially in those early stages. Like right now, I think you're getting a little blinded by the fact that Sage and Jawan have been deciding some of these votes. But just because you're deciding some votes in this current stage of the game does not mean
Listen,
you're winning the
Joe,
game.
Joe. I think you're trying to downplay who I have on my tribe. You've been shit
I'm not.
talking. You've been shit talking so
If
much more.
if they had a chance to win this game, I would give you that, but they just don't.
I think they
it,
have an argument. They
I
have an argument.
if
More so
if
Sage.
we were out there on the island, yes, yes. If we were out there on the island and we were watching this in real time, yes. But we are watching a edited version of what the show wants us to know, and they are telling us that they are not going to win the season.
Listen, you were like, you chose Kyle Frazier of all people throughout the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
You are the great mighty Pooh. You have been regurgitating and crapping
yeah.
on all of
Well,
my
to be
decisions.
fair, Survivor 48 was one of the worst seasons we have seen in at least 15 years of Survivor. Like it was so incredibly bad, especially like giving your winner having him have he had like 80 conventional at the end, sure, but guess what? 50 of them were Kyle and Camilla being in a secret fucking alliance. Are you
Sometimes
kidding me?
people forget, Joe.
You're telling me that he had nothing else important that you can do as a winner?
It was
What?
relevant to the situation.
What?
It was relevant to the situation.
Yeah, but we didn't need to hear it 50 fucking times. You could have told it one, two, maybe three times. Most. 50? What?
I think it may perhaps it pays homage
Don't worry.
where
We're gonna
Kyle
see.
Frazier wins the second
We're gonna
time in
get to
Survivor
we're gonna
50.
get to 50, and he's gonna be one of the first people out, and it's gonna be fine. Whatever.
Okay. I think I struck a nerve, guys.
Don't worry. We're gonna lose Joe, Camilla, and Kyle right away, and everything's gonna be fine.
I don't think it goes down that easily.
I hope it
Also,
does.
I'll be honest, I don't know what to make of Survivor 50. It just I can see this go so many different ways. Maybe once tribe divisions are solidified or like officially announced and stuff, and once we're done with this season and do a bit more analysis, perhaps I can, but as of now,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like focused on this season. And it's not like a couple weeks ago where you were like, "Oh, Ryan, you have a garbage team," and it's
Yeah.
like
They were a garbage
you
team for
have
the
two.
first six
If
weeks.
from your perspective, you have two people worthy of winning. From
Yeah.
mine, I have one.
Mhm.
Me, I remind you that one and two, they're not that it's not much of a difference. Do you know what the difference is? It's a difference of one. There you go. Maybe you won't fail math a third time.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, you're only going to potentially win this because of Savannah and Rizz God getting revealed. So how about you take that and be prideful about that? Because I think I
You legit hire people to make fun of me. You hire them to roast me, Joe.
yeah, and you loved it. You loved it.
I loved more so that you got your sweet comeuppance afterwards. You losing six people in a row in Survivor 40 several and then having no one in the final eight was so satisfying because it's not because I don't like you, it's not because of any malicious thing. It is because you have shit talked me. You hired
Yeah,
people to shit
this
talk
is this
me,
is this is
and it was
sports.
justice.
This is the equivalent of sports. You got to trash talk and shit talk each other all the time. Even if you're going to lose, you got to do it.
You're just so mean. You killed my Dragonite.
Your Dragonite deserved to die. I don't even know if that episode has that episode come out yet of that happening. I don't think it has. I think we might have,
Spoiler.
I think we might may have a spoiler there.
Whoops. Anyhow.
Yeah. But yeah, no. We know that there's three main characters this season, and that's Rizz God, Savannah, and Soph. So everyone else on the season is a supporting character to those three stories.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. All right. So, is there anything else about this episode? I think we've
Yes.
covered everything. We covered the challenge. We've covered.
What about how do you feel about Savannah revealing to Soph about her being a reporter?
I mean, Soph has proven to be loyal and stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's something where she wanted to genuinely feel closer. Obviously, there's always a gameplay element. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that does take some trust. I think if you were to choose one person, I think Soph is probably the right person to do it for
Mm-hmm.
because she has been so loyal to them.
Mm-hmm.
It seems unwavering. So, yeah. Um, led to a nice moment.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting to reveal your occupation midway through the game. I feel like it can always be dangerous because obviously, as a reporter, could be really good at talking and getting people on your side at Final Tribal Council, which is well, I'm still saying like she could talk her way into a win at Final Tribal Council. It's still very possible for Savannah if she's sitting in that scenario. Um, but yeah, no, it's interesting. I like if I was Soph, like you almost want Savannah out at like 5 or 4. Like you kind of want her on the jury to vote for you and hope that your connection's stronger than Rizz God's. Um, and then you don't have to deal with her. But also, they're kind of in a situation where if anyone other than those three is sitting next to them, they might get a bunch of the jury to vote for that one other person just because they weren't a part of that trio that's is kind of on the bottom in a sense. Even though that they're kind of like still controlling things, it still feels like those three at any moment are just going to be the bottom and be the ones that could get taken out. So yeah, hard to say. It's one of those tough ones where it's like I think she's more likely to get to the end if she goes with Savannah and Rizz God, but also it could be dangerous to sit next to Savannah if Savannah can put together a winning Final Tribal Council performance.
I think she can, but
Mhm.
all in good time.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Anything else?
Uh, no, I'm kind of coming. I know we've pretty much touched on everything. So I guess we go to confessional counts because, we value screen time on this
Yes.
channel.
Yes. Alex goes out here with the third most confessionals of the season so far at 44 confessionals. They only gave him 2 confessionals on his boot episodes.
I kind of noticed that too. I was like, especially because he was a main character for quite some time.
Yeah.
It does
He
seem a little weird.
he had 11 confessionals episode 1, 10 confessionals episode 2, 6 confessionals episode 3, and then just kind of like disappeared.
Yeah. The narrative kind of like shifted away from him.
Yeah. Okay, so top confessional person still is Savannah at 58. Um,
Nice.
Doing good there. Next we got Soph at 45 confessionals.
All right.
Next up we got the Rizz God at 42 confessionals.
Okay.
And right on his heels, we got Jawan at 41 confessionals.
So we got four people above the Banu bar.
Yep. Add another one here because we got Sage at 38 confessionals.
Nice. All except for Soph, all Uli, original Uli members.
Yeah, because Uli was the tribe that this season loved. That's the
Yes.
very clear trend.
Undeniably, yes.
Yeah. And then okay, so wait, do we have okay, yeah, we have Steven next at 30 confessionals. And then we got Sophie at 22 confessionals.
How
And
did she
then
get this episode?
she got 5.
Yeah, I was about to say it felt like a lot for her this time around.
Her edit started at episode 7, so she's been getting some screen time since then. But if you look at that pre-merge, oh boy, it's pretty bad. And
Yeah.
then Kristina, 21 confessionals, huge episode tonight for Kristina. But yet again, just like Sophie S doesn't really,
The fact that they're so close together on confessionals too.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, clearly, and I was saying this before we even saw that video about potential cheating and all that stuff. I was like, something happened to this yellow tribe. Like, there had to have been something that happened behind the scenes because some of these, like, I think Sophie S should be at like at least above the Bonnet bar right now in terms of
I
like
agree.
importance. Um, Kristina, I think you could make an argument she should be around the body bar, like somewhere around there in terms of importance. Steven as well should be probably higher. Like they should all have like a good little chunk up in terms of relevance, but they couldn't be bothered this season. It just
No.
is.
Yeah. I mean, for Steven, it's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
I feel more so it's really the imbalance that makes
Yeah.
it glaring,
Yeah.
where it's like it's those three straight up on the bottom. If it was like, let's say if it was like Sage that was like let's say she didn't have as much as confessionals. Let's say Sage and Steven swap confessionals count. It wouldn't be that glaring. But the
Yeah,
fact that it is those three, and they've been on the bottom of confessionals for quite some time,
yeah.
even when we had MC in there, it's like it's glaring.
They've been on the bottom since like episode 4. Like the Yellow Tribe has been on the bottom since like episode 4.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's
not a good
it's
uh
not.
like because we just instantly can rule out the chances of any one of those players winning because they just we would not see a season of Survivor where the winner is on a tribe that's not getting edited around.
I know Survivor sometimes doesn't care what the fans think when it comes to like them telling their story and whatnot, but they have paid attention when it came to certain things.
Mhm.
One of the biggest things is not showing their winner too much.
Yeah.
That's why you have, like it's kind of like that's why you have some fans being like, release the Erica cut or release
Yeah.
the Natalie White cut because it's like it seemed like they were damn near invisible throughout the game. Heck, I might be singing a different tune about Danny Boatwright if I saw her, like if I really saw her game.
Danny Boatwright, great winner, deserved it.
All right, there's one pet peeve of mine. I'm 99 to beat. Okay, she is still in the game. That's not what it is. Instead of Survivor winner, underneath her, like it would be like, oh, it has Danny and it says Survivor champion. And I'm like, hold the F on.
She's a
Hold up.
champion.
Let's just calm down.
She's a
Calm down. Calm
champion.
down. Calm down.
She's a goat. She's the survivor of goats, and not the goat that you might be thinking of when it comes to survivor, the greatest of all time.
You're only trying to work me up. You're trying to work me up. Choke on your monster.
I would never work you up. I
You
never
do it
do
all
that.
the
I
time.
never do that.
You do it all the time.
I
You
had
literally hire people to work. This guy spends money to fuck with me.
yeah. It's pretty funny. I know
You write
I'm
these off
laughing.
on your taxes, right? I just want to be sure.
I
At
don't.
least, okay. You can write off
Yeah,
Rizzo's cameo. You do realize this.
I can, but the effort.
You just be like, okay, this is business expense.
Yeah, but then I gotta like do it.
Okay, business expenses and random bullshit like that is how I actually get a decent tax refund
Yeah.
or any refund for that matter.
Mhm. Okay. Well, that does it there for the conventionals. Let's go to MVP and LVP.
MVP. There's a few people rewarding for this one. I will give it to Rizzo for having the nerves of steel, the vibranium nutsack. It's
Mhm.
just like it's just like so baffling that he's made it this far and not have to do it and not even like sweating. He touched it a little bit and was debating it. He said no, and it was the right call. So I'm going to give it to Rizzo. Also, he named his target and got him out as well.
Yep.
So for those two reasons,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just have to give it to Rizz God too. I just feel like he's playing like if anyone really played this round the best, it's probably Rizz God. Like everyone wants to flush that idol and they didn't get flushed. Like that was a thing that people wanted to do and it didn't happen. Like you said, he wanted Alex out. Alex went out. Basically everything worked the best for Rizz God. Whereas like Savannah and Soph. It was a good episode for them. Like, don't get me wrong, but it didn't seem like it was as like look at look at how this move specifically is going to benefit their game. Whereas it felt a lot more better for Rizz God.
yeah. All right, LVP. I might have to give it to Kristina for these reasons. One, it's not necessarily her fault that Steven spilt the beans about the
Mm-hmm.
idol, but that's something that's going against her. Two, uh, the shared reaction that had Sophie S, turn against her and that alliance. Three, now put a bigger target on her back for like jury threat because of giving up a reward to Jawan. Whether it was
Mhm.
just simply a nice gesture or not, it's something where it's like it speaks volumes in this game. So it's
Yeah.
like with those things, I will give it to Kristina.
Yeah. I almost want to just give it to everyone besides Rizz God, Soph, and Savannah. Hear me out. The only reason is it is just incredibly bad for everyone else's game besides those three for Rizz God to still have his idol. And the fact that they didn't flush the idol and can't figure out how to do it, I think it's just that's what's going to ruin their game. It's the fact that they are not able to flush the idol. They're too afraid to throw votes on to Rizz God, and because of that, it's just like they're going to just skate by and keep this idol for a round when they finally decide to go against it, and then Rizz God can be like, okay, now I can use this, and it's just going to be. They're going to then find themselves, it's too little, too late.
Well, the thing is, it's like the first time to do it. Well, all right, they doing it last round. They could have done it, but I think they were too worried. Well, I mean, like Rizzo was the only person on the outs there, so I don't blame them too much for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it was because of that whole discussion that, cracks started to form and then yada yada.
Yeah,
The one before that, that would have been an ideal if you split votes on Nate and then Rizzo, more so on Rizzo to get him out. That was the time to do it. This might have been one of the only times realistically they could have done it, but they were like, you know what, Alex?
yeah.
I think if they don't do it this next upcoming round, I think they might be cooked.
Yeah, well,
And
they're
then
they're
he's gonna,
already in a
yeah,
situation where splitting is hard nowadays. Like now they kind of just have
exactly,
they now kind of have to just full send it on to Rizz God and hope that he either doesn't play it or hope that they're taking out someone that's not you. Like
exactly.
those are your two options. And I've played orgs where I've been in this situation. People never want to vote for the person if they think that there's a chance it's going to be them that gets the thing. So Rizz God will then just keep his idol because he doesn't need to use it because everyone's going to get scared.
I mean, I've been at the mercy of that too, where
Yeah,
even though there was like people with public idols where I'm like, no, she has it. Or
yeah,
there was also like I thought someone had it and I just did not target them because I was like, no. Granted, that was my first. Both of these situations were my first and second org, but I was
mm-hmm,
like, I don't know. I feel like she wouldn't be playing this way if she didn't have this, or oh, she has this, so why even bother putting a vote on her?
mm-hmm.
And then that's how they scrape by and they keep
Yeah.
getting further in the game.
Yeah, and then you tell everyone, "Hey, listen, if these guys keep doing this, they're going to win the game." And then people don't listen because they're too scared. and then
Yeah.
and then guess what? They win the game. And I'm
Mhm.
literally seeing it play out here in real time here. So uh yeah, that's going to be that. Good games for Rizz God, Savannah, and so good job. Um, very likely at least Final Four minimum.
Yeah. Well, I'll see. And I'm excited for the. We already said on the next time on Survivor.
Mhm.
Someone crazy is going at Tribal. But yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Also, I guess like something we can talk about while we're here. What do you think of the 3 hour premiere for Survivor 50?
yeah, it's gonna. What I'm hoping, and maybe it's not gonna happen because they want, but I do want to see multiple people get eliminated in episode one.
I think they have to. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be one of the things where I'm a little iffy on this, but it's just like they have so many people, so they might just do this for pre-merge.
Mhm.
But I think like if they're doing three tribes, it's first place gets immune, the other two tribes have to go to tribal council.
Yeah.
I feel like
I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a all three tribes going in episode one, individual immunity to start the season for each tribe.
that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's like that's the thing. And when it comes to, it's not even production costs at this point. Well, I mean, your only production cost with that, because basically they're out there, they might give you a sack of rice and that's it. It's like, it's not like they're feeding them all the time.
Mhm.
But, it's like when you have that big of a cast and then you only have so many episodes, and not even just so many episodes, so many days on the island,
Yeah.
because they're still doing 26, which is baffling to me. It's
Yeah.
like they have to do it in order to like keep pace with it,
Yeah.
because legit you would have to, if you didn't, you would have to like, you maybe have like 2 or 3 break days basically
Yeah.
until day 26.
They got eliminated like 12 people in the first 12 days. Like they have to basically like at a just crazy speed to try to get to that point.
Yeah. I mean, they're all stars. They got this, but at the same time, it's just like,
Yeah.
I,
It's gonna
my biggest worry
yeah.
is like, am I going to be able to keep track of like what's even going on?
Yeah, there's it also kind of sucks for in my opinion for some of these people who it is their first like all-star season and maybe they go out like pretty early because it's going to be like that like if you're like fourth boot of the season you're going to get maybe like 3 confessionals like it could really be very small because there's just so many people and if you're not one of the main characters of the season like you just might not really get shown.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Australian Survivor and how they handle it that way, but also I know Australian Survivor is like, screw, like screw any like suspicion on like, oh, maybe this person's up. It's like, no, it can be very one-sided when it comes to the edit.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the
Um,
Parvati. We saw
yeah,
Parvati just get told basically episode one, you're gonna win the season, and then she wins the season.
yeah. What can you do?
Yeah,
All right. Well, I guess that is it. Yeah, I'm excited for next week. It's gonna be Turkey Day weekend, so great way
yep,
to kick it off. So yeah, excited.
exactly. So, with that being said, we will see you all in the next one.
Peace.